Chapter 1: The Origins of MCTiers. MCTiers launched with good intentions. The goal was fairness, a fresh start, and a cleaner rule base, but from the beginning, structure was missing. I have been involved with this tier list for a long time, and the experiences I had are not something you can just shrug off. Some of them were straight up harmful, emotionally, socially, and yeah, even outside the game. MCTiers was built on the idea that it would be transparent, community-driven, and actually consistent. But honestly, it has gone the opposite direction. No unified rule system, inconsistent enforcement, unclear ban criteria, staff acting on interpretation, not policy. That confusion later snowballed into actual damage for the community and for individuals. Chapter 2: The Cheater Unbans and Early Bad Decisions. When MCTiers launched, one of the first major decisions they made was to unban a large number of players who were previously restricted. Many of these players were banned for cheating, abusing alts, or causing serious issues. A lot of those bans were supposed to be permanent. But instead of reviewing them properly, the new system basically wiped the slate clean. Overnight, people who were removed for major reasons were suddenly back, unrestricted and treated like nothing had ever happened. It is like letting every inmate walk out of a prison at once. The community got flooded with players who were banned for good reason, and the fallout was immediate. On top of that, the staff team handling Netherite OP simply was not ready for it. They did not have the screen share experience to reliably catch cheaters, or the community knowledge to recognize who was genuinely harmful. Because of that lack of preparation, the influx of bad actors blended right back in with everyone else. Cheaters climbed to high tiers. Known problem players slipped through unnoticed. The competitive environment became unstable. Legit players felt demotivated and ignored. MCTiers wanted more activity and recognition, but this shortcut did long-term damage. It boosted numbers short-term, but invited people who had already proven they were harmful. This was not just a small oversight, it was a massive structural mistake that affected everything that came after. Chapter 3: What I actually contributed. Even though a lot of bad decisions were being made around me, I did not just sit there and shrug. I was not staff, I did not have authority, but I still tried to make things less chaotic. I ended up involved in a bunch of investigations about high-tier players cheating. Just me collecting evidence, asking questions, and sending things to the people who were in charge. I talked with the staff way more than I expected to. Sometimes it was about cheaters, sometimes about the structure of how things were being handled. I remember going back and forth with Marlo a lot. Most of it was because the server had such big potential, yet it was being wasted. It was frustrating to see something that could have been great just falling apart because of poor decisions. Looking back, a lot of what I reported ended up being accurate. People I flagged eventually got banned. Some changes in the tier list lined up with things I had pointed out earlier. Chapter 4: The False Ban. It started with Shoei, who was the top low tier 1 player at the time. They got demoted by Xperia, and when they tested to get their spot back, they had to fight me for their test. I was low tier 2 then. I beat them 4-0. Right after that, Shoei accused me of cheating and claimed someone else was on my account. Since they were staff at the time, the whole situation escalated extremely fast. The accusations were baseless, so I posted my old video of beating them during their earlier high tier 1 test. That alone showed the claims did not make sense. Shortly after I tested again and earned high tier 2, 40 minutes after my result was posted, September 7:30 EST, I got banned with a notice saying I had a player on my account. No evidence, no explanation. The timing was honestly insane. I tried reaching out to staff, including people I had helped before, and every single person ignored me. Overnight, every connection I had built in the tier list basically snapped. I asked for the name of the person I supposedly let play on my account. They refused to tell me, so I had to figure it out myself. Once I pieced things together, I made a group chat with every high staff member I had on Discord. I sent logs, footage, everything they asked for. I cooperated fully because the accusations were ridiculous. After a few days, I was unbanned. Marlo posted a formal apology when I was unrestricted. It was more of a general statement than anything personal, but at least it acknowledged the situation. Still, it did not fix the fact that my friendships with several staff members fell apart. A lot of staff, including Shoei, were trashing my name during the ban. Shortly after, Shoei was demoted. But Shoei could not have banned me alone. Someone higher up had to approve it. They said there was an investigation, but there was no actual proof of anything. Removing Shoei did not answer the bigger question, who signed off on the ban? The truth is simple. I was only unbanned quickly because I had connections. If this had happened to a regular player, they would probably still be waiting. They backed off once I uploaded the video that disproved everything. That is the whole situation. Chaotic, avoidable, and honestly exhausting. Chapter 5. The Ticket Leak and Harm. Before all of this, I had reported a player called Duka. The report went through proper channels, landed in a high staff-only ticket, and that should have been the end of it. The only responsibility staff had was simple: protect the identity of the person who reported him. They failed that in the worst way possible. Somehow that supposed secure ticket leaked, and once it was out, Duka knew I was the one who filed the report. That alone was bad, but what happened after did not even feel real. I ended up getting doxxed and harassed. People tried to dig up where I lived. They tried to hit me with DDoS attacks. They even put my face onto Minecraft skins just to mess with me. It escalated fast. Way faster than any normal community issue should. I did what anyone would do. I tried to report it. I kept raising it to the tier list because this was not small drama. This was personal info being leaked because a staff member did not protect a whistleblower. But every time, the response was either silence or something so weak it might as well have been silence. The fallout went way beyond me. The leak damaged the integrity of the entire system. Staff members themselves told me they did not trust the support process anymore. Some of them avoided opening formal tickets at all and instead came to me with issues directly because they were scared their reports would leak too. That alone says everything. What is even worse is that the high-up staff never understood the scale of what happened. The whole thing was brushed over like it was some minor inconvenience even though it caused real harm. Not just to me, but to people around me who got dragged in because my name was exposed. Out of everything the tier list has ever done wrong, this was by far the worst. Everything should have settled after the earlier mess, but the next thing that happened was way worse than any ban. Chapter 6. The Final Ban. The final situation that led to my permanent ban happened during a test involving a player named Isad. He is a longtime friend of mine, someone I have known for around 6 years. Despite knowing that, they still assigned me to conduct his unretirement test for low tier 2. The match format was first to 4. At one point, I was up 3-0. Instead of finishing the match normally, I forfeited. This decision came from frustration with the direction the tier list had been going. There had already been repeated issues, mismanagement, inconsistent rule enforcement, and a general sense that the system was becoming chaotic. The forfeit was meant to make a point. Initially, nothing happened. There was no clear response or consistent ruling. Eventually, staff told me the forfeit resulted in my demotion to high tier 3. But in another ticket, staff had previously stated that a forfeit only affects the player taking the test, not the person conducting it. My expectation was simple. I would likely be demoted to high tier 3, and that outcome itself would highlight how flawed the system was. If I were suddenly below low tier 2 players because of a protest forfeit, it would expose how unstable the ranking structure had become. Those two statements directly contradicted each other. When I pointed this out and asked to restart the test properly, the discussion turned into an argument. Instead of clarifying the rule, staff escalated it. Shortly after, I was permanently banned for boosting. The accusation was that I had attempted to boost Isad by forfeiting the match, but he already had a peak rank of low tier 2, meaning gaining it again would not change anything. The rules for boosting normally involve intentional rank manipulation between multiple players, not a single forfeit mid-match. And in other parts of the same system, boosting typically results in a temporary ban of 90 to 180 days, not a permanent one. Despite all of that, the punishment given to me was the maximum possible one. I eventually brought the situation to a manager. Most of the conversation revolved around them saying I had broken the rules, while I argued the rules were inconsistent. I mentioned that I planned to make a video documenting everything that had happened. At first, the response was defensive. I was accused of trying to create a narrative or play the hero. Only after I showed examples of the issues did the conversation shift. The manager then asked to see the video and the evidence before making any final judgments. But meaningful responses only appeared after pressure was applied. Rules are supposed to be consistent and predictable. Instead, many decisions appear to depend on who is involved rather than what actually happened. Some players clearly carry more weight, and the rules often seem to bend around that reality. MCTiers was originally created to improve on the problems of previous tier lists: more transparency, better community input, and fairer decision-making. But the events throughout this video tell a different story. From inconsistent bans, to leaked reports, to unclear rules and permanent punishments that do not match the offense, the system has repeatedly shown that it struggles with the very issues it was meant to fix.